हेलो एवरीवन। पहले हम लोग आज डिस्कस कर लेते हैं कि पिछले लेक्चर में हमने क्या पढ़ा था। पार्शियल डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन में पिछले लेक्चर में हमने पढ़ा था स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्म ऑफ लैग्रेंजेस पी प्लस क्यू इज इक्वल टू आर, और उसका वर्किंग रूल देखा था। उसमें 4 पॉइंट्स थे। उसके बाद सॉल्यूशन ऑफ पी प्लस क्यू इज इक्वल टू आर बाय 3 मेथड्स: ग्रुपिंग मेथड, सब्स्टिट्यूशन मेथड एंड मेथड ऑफ मल्टीप्लाई। आज के लेक्चर में हम लोग देखेंगे सॉल्यूशन ऑफ पी प्लस क्यू इज इक्वल टू आर का बाय ग्रुपिंग मेथड। तो लेट अस स्टार्ट। इन पार्शियल डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन इन पीडीई, पार्शियल डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन, solution of Pp plus Q into Q is equal to R using grouping method. First of all, we have to discuss what is it. What is meant by grouping method? So in this method, we have to consider two ratios from the auxiliary equation is such that the third variable absent or we can cancel out easily. Let us suppose the auxiliary equation dx upon p is equal to dy upon q is equal to dz upon r. This is the auxiliary equation. If I want to solve, if I want to explain you people the grouping method, I will take first two ratios. So these two ratios should have only x and y variable when I consider dx upon p equal to dy by q. There is no dz z term. If there will be z term, that will be cancelled. So we can conclude grouping method as consider any two ratio from auxiliary equation such that the third variable is absent or cancel out easily. Remember, this is very important point. Now let us take the first example on this grouping method. So example 1, solve x into p plus y into q is equal to z. To obtain the solution of this question, first of all you have to identify is it the linear partial differential equation. I'm going to say Lagrange's linear form. See here, this equation has small p and small q. So of course it is the standard form of Lagrange's linear differential equation. So after identified, you have to write the given partial differential equation given xp plus yq is equal to z. Now compare it with p into p plus q into q is equal to r. So compare with p into p plus q into q is equal to r. Here we look in capital P means x, capital Q is the value I, and right hand side is z. So we can write it. Capital P is value x, capital Q is y, capital R is z. Now write the auxiliary equation with these three values. Dx upon, first of all write standard form, dx upon p is equal to dy upon q is equal to dz upon r. The value of p is x, q is y, and r is z. So dx upon x is equal to dy upon y is equal to dz upon z. Now from this auxiliary equation, student, you have to obtain two solutions. For the first solution, I can take first two ratio is y. First of all, you have to observe. If I just take dx upon x, dx means x variable. So totally it consists of x. Denominator, I meant to say denominator has x variable. dy means y variable, so denominator should have variable. So it is in the standard form. Means if I consider both first two ratios, it is in the variable separable form. Every time you have to see either it is variable separable form or not. There is no term of z if I consider first two ratios. I can take it easily. So consider first two ratio for first solution. Consider dx upon x is equal to dy upon y. It is variable separable form. So integrating on integration dx upon x is equal to integration dy upon y. So you know that integration dx by x is log of x. Similarly, log of y plus. Both terms are in log, so you can add integration constant, say as log of c. Now take this log y in the left side become negative. So I getting log of x minus log of y is equal to log c1. So suppose this x is a and this y is b. So using log principle, log a minus log b, which is nothing but log of a divided by b. Using same thing here. So according to this rule, log principle, getting log of x upon y is equal to log of c1. Now taking anti-log, so you will have x upon y is equal to c1. So c1 just denote by u, by getting u is equal to x upon y. So this is the first solution. In the same way, student, get back to the auxiliary equation, this equation, and observe again other two ratios. Say for the second solution, I can consider dy by y is equal to dz by z, because once I just say dy means y equal denominator is y. Once I just look the dz, denominator is z. Means they are in variable separable form. So again we will take for the second solution. So dy upon y is equal to dz upon z. On integration dy upon y is equal to integration say dz upon z. So it will be log y is equal to log z. Log of y is equal to log of z plus add integration constant log of c2. Again take log z in the left side becomes negative. So log y minus log z is equal to log of c2. Again use the log principle. So according to that, log of y upon z is equal to log of c2. So taking anti-log, you will get c2 is equal to y upon z. Here student, note one more point here. Again I just back to the auxiliary equation. I consider for the second solution last two ratios dy by y is equal to dz by z. You can take also first and third, dx upon x equal to dz by z. Once I say dx means x variable should have a denominator, it is already present, and dz containing z variable. So you can take also dx upon x equal to dz by z, any first and third. In this case you will get, if you consider dx by x equal to dz by z, you will get the other solution as x upon z. If I consider dy by y equal to dz by z, I got the answer y by z. If I consider dx by x equal to dz by x, I will finally get the solution as x by z. C2 is equal to x by z. That will be also 100% correct. Because solution of the partial differential equation is arbitrary. So, after getting C2, just denote C2 by V. So, V is equal to y upon z. Hence, the solution of given partial differential equation is f of u comma v equal to 0. Substituting the value of u and v here, u is x upon y, v is y upon z is equal to 0. So in this way we got the solution of the given partial differential equation. So let us move towards the next example, second one say. Example 2. Solve y square p minus xy cube is equal to x z minus 2y. Now students, again identify, is it Lagrange's linear form? Again this equation has p and q, of course it is Lagrange's linear form. First of all write the given equation. So given y square p minus xy cube is equal to x z minus 2 times of y. Now just compare it with pb plus qb is equal to r. P into p plus q into q is equal to r. Here you look at capital P is the value y square, capital Q minus 6y, and the right side is xz minus 2y. So writing capital P y square, capital Q minus x into y, and the capital R x times z minus 2y. Now I do the auxiliary equation with the values of p, q, r. So dx upon p means y square, dy upon q minus xy, dz upon r means x z minus 2 times of y. Now we try to obtain two solutions from this auxiliary equation. So let us consider first two ratio. Is it possible to take it? Observe these two ratios carefully. Now if I consider dx, so denominator should have as x only, that is y square. If I consider dy, the denominator should have only 1. But I am taking the pair means two ratios, dx and dy means x and y variable. So these two ratios are x and y containing only x and y variable. So we can take easily to obtain the first solution. So let us take it. Dx upon y square is equal to dy upon minus xy. There is no z third variable is present over here. So it is cancelled, one y cancel. So dx upon y is equal to dy upon minus x. Now we have to just we have to use the variable separable form. That's why I just shift this x to the dx side and y to the dy side. So I just writing x into dx is equal to minus shift in the numerator y into d. It is variable separable form. Now integration. On integration x into dx is equal to minus take out y into dy. So for the integration of x dx and y dy using the formula integration x raised to n dx, which is x to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. Using for both x dx and y dy integration using the same formula. So coming to that, both are having power 1. So x square by 2, x dx integration x square by 2, y dy integration is y square by 2. Both terms have been denominator 2, so we have to add integration constant c1 by 2. Now to cancel out 2, multiply whole equation with 2. So what you are getting is x square is equal to minus y square plus c1. Take y square in the left side become positive. So x square plus y square is equal to c1. 15 that I get you. So x square plus y square is equal to c1. Call it c1 by u letter. So u is equal to x square plus y square. So this is the first solution. For the second solution, once again look at the auxiliary equation. For the first we observe first two ratio. Now try for the second and third ratio. Is it possible to take it for the second solution? But students here, you just considering d1 is y variable, dz means z variable. Let us see the denominator situation. Now this d1, this denominator has dy dz means we have to look only y and z variable. Okay. So here this dy has denominator x and y, this dz has xz minus 2y. If I consider yz means there is a x term is present, but if I take for the solution purpose, x will be cancelled. Then I get in dy by y is equal to dz upon z minus 2y means y and z variable. So for the purpose solution we can take easily these two ratios. 2 dy upon minus xy is equal to dz upon x z minus 2y. X cancel. So dy upon minus y is equal to dz upon z minus 2y. Now students, dy should have now only y variable, but dz in denominator, z the additional term is minus 2y. So we can't transfer minus 2y to the side of dy. There will be, if I transfer z minus 2y, it goes with d1. So in this case, when you not getting a variable separable form, you have to just cross multiply them. So taking cross multiplication, just z minus 2y with dy minus y dz. So let us take z minus 2y dy is equal to minus y dz. This you have to do when you are not getting variable separable form, do cross multiplication. You just multiply them. So dy minus 2y dy is equal to minus y dz. Now take the sector minus y dz in the first y dz, adding then plus z dy minus 2y dy is equal to, let us see, let's put 0. Now student, this y dz plus z dy minus 2y dy, this is not integrable quantity. Y dz we can't integrate, z dy we can't integrate, but 2y dy we can integrate. So we have to reduce. Actually, if I consider differential of yz and applying the product rule, what I'm getting is first function as it is, derivative of second plus second as it is, derivative of first. So y dz plus z dy we can reduce it as d of yz, the differential of yz. So and additional thing is for 2y dy we can write 2y dy as derivative of y square. It's very easy because differential of y square is 2y. So d of y square is 2y dy. So in both the terms we can substitute d of yz in the first and 2y dy as d of y square. So it will reduce to d of yz minus d of y square is equal to 0. Now we can take integration on integration. Integration d of yz minus integration d of y square is equal to integration 0. When integration derivative comes simultaneously, they will cancel. So integration d will cancel, integration d will cancel. So you will have next step yz minus y square is equal to integration of 0 is constant. Let us take a c2. So yz minus y square is equal to c2 say. Yz minus y square is equal to say c2. Now take c2 as v. So v is equal to yz minus y square. This is the second solution. Hence we concluding the final solution. Hence solution of given partial differential equation is f of the value of u x square plus y square comma the value of v yz minus y square is equal to 0. So this is your final solution. So I hope students you understand very well this solution of this example. Y square p minus x y q is equal to x z minus 12 is very important question. Now I will give you two problems as a homework. That is, solve p tan x plus q tan y is equal to tan z. Second question says y square z upon x into p plus zx q is equal to y square. Now student, I can give you the hint for these two questions. These two will be your homework question. So in the first column, looking small p and small q means, of course, it is in the standard form. You will consider auxiliary equations, substitute them, you will get two solutions by grouping method. Second example, you are looking small q, again it is standard form, but in the first term denominator is x, so you have to multiply each term with x to cancel it out. So this is the hint for the second question. I hope you will do it at your home. So thank you so much for watching this video.